Hello students, good morning all of you. This is your Prabhakar and welcome to our channel Dawn of Chemistry. Hope you are all happy and healthy in your homes and you have written your NEET exam well also. In this video, I am going to explain about the NEET 2020 chemistry analysis and detailed solutions. What are the different questions from which chapters they have come, and what is the difficulty level of the questions, and detailed solution of this paper we are going to discuss. One thing I am going to stress here, so see, our channel has started only 1.5 month happened. Before 1.5 month only I have posted so many videos on different concepts, and I have made some videos how to get 150 plus marks in NEET exam also. Majorly, see, out of 45 questions, 36 to 37 questions came from the suggestions which were from my videos only. So if you have simply followed my videos, means you would have scored really 20 questions easily. You would have scored if you have followed my videos. So that much simple I have made. What are the important topics are present, I have posted on those things. And you see, in the upcoming days I am going to make videos on each and every topic. Those who are preparing for 2021 NEET, if you follow my videos regularly, means you cannot, there is no need to reach any coaching center or something, because I will make videos in such a way that easily you can understand. So there is no need to go to any coaching also. Simply you follow my videos and sit in home and prepare for exam. Means in chemistry easily you can score 150 plus marks if you are following my videos thoroughly and understanding the concepts very well. So that's why I request everybody, those who are preparing for this NEET exam 2021, follow my videos, subscribe to my channel, and to get more updates. Fine, let us get into the details. In this NEET 2020 paper, let us see from what are the chapters the question has come. Subscribe to my channel Dawn of Chemistry. See, in this case, these are all first year topics, and these are all second year topics. Let us see topic wise from which question what has come and all. Let us see. Basic concepts of chemistry, that is based on the mole concept, one question has come. Structure of atom, 2 questions has come. Classification of elements and periodicity in properties. As I told you, study inorganic chemistry as collectively, don't study bit by bit. So whatever the periodic trend is there, you study that in classification and periodicity in the properties, and whatever the structures are present related to the particular component, try to study in the chemical bonding. See, in the states of matter, gases and liquids and solids also present. In your syllabus they are going to introduce these solids into this gases and liquids only. From thermodynamics 3 questions has come. From equilibrium 1 question has come. Redox reactions 1 has come. Hydrogen, as I have suggested. From chemical bonding I have suggested 5 questions and it came 3 questions. From structure of atom 2 questions we have suggested, it came. From basic concepts 1, chemical periodicity 2. As per every question they came as our suggestions only. And some topics also, you see, you will surprise, some questions are there directly whatever the models I have explained in the video. So those models only came directly. In equilibrium 1 question came directly. In thermodynamics 2 questions came directly from our discussions in the videos. Even in the hydrogen also we discussed about the hardness of water, and based on the hardness of water only they have given question. In S block elements we discussed about the biological importance of elements. So based on the biological importance of elements they gave 1 question. And you see, based on the oxo acids structure and all we have discussed, they gave 1 question. Basic concepts of chemistry they have given you 3 questions. Hydrocarbons they have given you 3 questions. Environment chemistry 1 question. So this concept also we have explained same thing. I will come to the organic as a whole, then you will get clarity. Solutions, we got 2 questions we have got. From ideal behavior 1 question has come. From relative lowering of depression in freezing point 1 question has come. These 2 also came as per our suggestion. Electrochemistry, electrolysis question has come. As per our suggestion only it came. And chemical kinetics, one question has come. Surface chemistry, one question. Metallurgy, one question has come. P block elements, one question. D and F, they gave you two questions. And coordination compounds, you see, this is also same thing. We have stressed on understanding the spectrochemical series to your paper. So the spectrochemical series also, they have asked one question: haloalkanes, alcohols, phenols, ethers. In ethers, we have explained about the ethers reaction with HI. Same question has come. Even I have explained in the video also. So whatever we have discussed, so that kind of models has come. And you see aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids, and all the things. What I have mentioned is try to study the named reactions. You will really get surprised. Based on the named reactions, 5 questions has come. Whatever the organic questions they have asked, all those are based on this named reactions only. When I am explaining the paper, I will tell you what are those questions and all. And from biomolecules, they have given 2 questions. As I told you, based on the structures, they will be asking the questions. In the same way, they asked questions based on the structures of them. Polymers, 1 question has come. What we have discussed is natural rubber, which is a previous year question also. Natural rubber is a cis 1,2 butadiene. On polymerization, it will give you cis polymer. From chemistry in everyday life, 1 question has come. So like this, different questions are there, but every question came as per our suggestion only. Right, let us get into the paper. See, this is the atomic structure question, not atomic, basic concept, that is mole concept. You would have done this well only. Which of the following has maximum number of atoms? We know very well, number of atoms is equals to number of moles into Avogadro number. We know number of moles is equals to weight by gram molecular weight. Here you see weight is the same for all of them. And if you see the gram molecular weight, so Avogadro number is same and weight is same. So number of atoms is inversely proportional to gram molecular weight. So number of moles atoms is inversely proportional to GMW. So here there is no need for simplification also. Whatever is having lowest gram molecular weight, that will be having the maximum number of molecules. So here you see lithium is having 7 atomic weight. Since they are talking about the elements, it will be in the uniatomic only, so it will be elements only. So that's why lithium is the answer. So 1 gram of lithium will have the maximum number of atoms. And you see these are atoms. Oxygen, you take 2 atoms will come. So here it will be 1 by 32 will come. 1 by 32 into 2 into Avogadro number. So 1 by 16 will be coming. But here only 1 by 7 will come. So that's why this cannot be the answer. So third one, lithium, is the answer. Let us go to the next one. This is based on the atomic structure. See, number of protons, neutrons and electron in lutetium. We know very well for lutetium, number of protons is equals to atomic number, number of neutrons is equals to mass number minus atomic number, number of electrons is equals to atomic number plus or minus charge. Whatever the charge is there, that we will be considering. So here if you see, in this case, lutetium case, number of protons equals to Z means, so it is 71. Number of neutrons is equals to A minus Z. So 175 minus 71, so it will be 104 will come. And number of electrons, since it is a neutral species, there is no charge, so it will be 71. And you see they are asking protons, neutrons and electrons. So 71, 104 and 71. So where are this thing means, fourth question is the answer. So 71, 104 and then 71 will come. Like this we can do this problem. So based on the atomic structure, this is the easiest question. See, mostly in this paper, the paper is very easy. Hardly 3 questions are there which will be typical. Let us go to the next one. What is the spin only magnetic moment for chromium? The spin only magnetic moment is root over n into n plus 2. Root over n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetons will come. What is this n means? N is equals to number of unpaired electrons. N is equals to number of unpaired electrons. So here you see Cr2 plus. Electronic configuration of chromium is argon 4s1 3d5 will come. But here 2 electrons are removed means it will be 4s0 3d4 will come. 4s0 3d4 since it is 2 plus, so number of unpaired electrons is equals to 4. So 4 into 4 plus 2 means root over 24 will come. Root over 24 means it's nearly root over 25, so it will be like 4.90 Bohr magnetons will be coming. Like this you can answer this question. Next, moving into the next question. 2 questions based on the atomic structure is over. Next, periodic classification of elements and then trends. As I told you, even this can come into the p block elements also. P block elements, oxygen family, we have suggested you to go through the oxygen family oxides. So based on the oxides they have given this question. So see, Cl2O7, this is the halogens. Mostly halogens are there means they will be forming the acidic oxides. Barium oxide, barium is a metal, so barium oxide will be forming a basic oxides. And carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide is acidic in nature, carbon monoxide will be neutral, and Al2O3 you take, it will be amphoteric in nature. So that's why A is having 2, B is 1, C is 4 and D is 3 will be coming. And here there is no even confusion also from the option. So aram say if you know one option means you would have done this very well. Let us move to the next question. See, this is the most difficult question, not most difficult question. It seems to be difficult question, but if you logically approach means you can do it easily. What they have given is atomic numbers they gave you and the names of them they gave you, and they have asked you which of the following is the incorrect match. If you see, I will tell you the simple logic. Unun Unniyam. Unun Unniyam is nothing but 119. So far we didn't discover 119 only. So whatever the option is relating to that thing, you can take. Dermastadium is there. Dermastadium is 110 will be coming, and remaining and all it will be same only. B is 2. Unil Unniyam, Laurentium they gave you. Unil Trium, sorry Unul Trium. Unil Trium means 103 will come. That is nothing but the Laurentium will come. C is 3. Unil Hexium means Seaborgium will be coming exactly. A is 1 means Mendelevium. If you see this Mendelevium and then Laurentium, these two belongs to the actinide series. So these two belong to the actinide series. Mendeleev noble laws I told you in the mnemonic. So based on that also you can do. And if you don't know all these things also, one simple logic you can apply. 119. Unil Unniyam is 119. So far there is no discovery of Unil Unniyam. So that's why Unun Unniyam. So that's why you can put for the option D. If you have applied some little common sense means you can get this thing. Next, let us move to the next one. See, from chemical bonding I was strongly suggesting you go through the molecular orbital theory. So from the molecular orbital theory only they have asked this question. Which molecule does not exist? If for any molecule bond order is equals to 0, that molecule does not exist. So for which one bond order is 0 means helium, because it is sigma 1s2 sigma star 1s2 will come. So bond order is half into Nb minus Na, so 2 minus 2 it will be 0, and hence for helium bond order is 0. Even in your NCERT questions also they have asked this repeatedly, why He2 molecule does not exist. So which does not exist means helium does not exist. By using molecular orbital theory bond order is equals to 0 means that molecule does not exist. Let's move to the other one. See, I was telling you repeatedly, based on the structures they will be asking you the question. Here they have asked in the dipole moment, if any molecule is having a regular shape, if any molecule is having the regular shape, means this dipole moment is equals to 0. So regular shape is there, means no lone pair. If there is no lone pair, it will be 0 dipole moment will be coming. Maximum you can proceed like that. So here you see boron trifluoride, hydrogen fluoride. Hydrogen fluoride, fluorine will be having the 3 lone pairs, so it is not possible. Nitrogen trifluoride, NF3, in this case 1 lone pair is there, so not possible. Boron trifluoride, BF3, there is no lone pair. Beryllium difluoride, there is no lone pair. Carbon dioxide, carbon is having no lone pair. 1,4 dichlorobenzene. In this 1,4 dichlorobenzene, the chlorine atoms are in para position. Since chlorine atoms are in para position, though lone pairs are there, they will pull in opposite directions very equally. So the answer for this question will be this one. Boron trifluoride, beryllium difluoride, carbon dioxide, and 1,4 dichlorobenzene. So para dichlorobenzenes means oppositely they are attracted to one another. The chlorines will be in opposite directions like this. One chlorine is here and one chlorine. So parallel extra attractions will be there, so they get cancelled. Let's move to the next question. See, as I told you, oxo acids of sulfur is very important, and I have made a video on this and I have published also. See, H2SO4, which will be having a regular structure as double bond O, OH, and then OH will come. So there is no confusion in that. Peroxy disulfuric acid this is also known as the Marshall's acid, as double bond O, OH, and then OH will come. Here you see this is OO linkage is there. So which is having the OO linkage means peroxy disulfuric acid. Pyrosulfuric acid they are asking you. What is this pyrosulfuric acid means? See, pyrosulfuric acid as double bond O, as double bond O, OH, and then OH. SOS linkage will be present. Sulfurous acid as double bond O, OH, and then OH will come. So like this we will be having this structure. So the answer will be peroxo disulfuric acid will be coming. So this is very important thing. Next, moving. So 3 questions have come based on this chemical bonding. Let us move to the next thing, states of matter. Based on the states of matter, they have given the question that is based on the Dalton's law. Based on Dalton's law, Pi is equals to Xi into P. Partial pressure of particular component equals to mole fraction of the component into total pressure will come. Here 7 grams of nitrogen and then 8 grams of argon. 7 grams of nitrogen means 7 by 28. 8 grams of argon means 8 by 40. So this is 1 by 5 and this will be 1 by 4 will come. 1 by 4 and 1 by 5 means 0.25 and 0.2. So these are the number of moles of the component. So nitrogen mole fraction is 0.25, argon mole fraction is 0.2. They are asking you partial pressure of nitrogen. Partial pressure of nitrogen is equals to mole fraction of nitrogen 0.25 by 0.45 into 27 will come. So 0.25 by 0.45 into 27 means you can cancel like this. 9 3s are 27, 9 5s will come, 5 1s and 5 5. So 5 3s are 15 bars will come. Even you see in this NEET paper, the problems also are not very much complicated, and there is no much this calculation part also. Directly you substitute and do small calculations, means it will come. Total in chemistry, one question is there. There is not even one question also, which requires some extra calculations. Direct substitute, immediately they gets cancelled. Right. Let's go to the next one. Solid state question. Normally this is BCC structure is there, edge length they gave you, atomic radius they are asking you. For BCC, radius of the edge length is equals to root 3a by 4 will be coming. R is equals to root 3a by 4 will come. Where is root 3a by 4 means this is the direct formula. If you know this one, even your board examinations also you would have written this formula. So based on that you can do this easily. Next, let's move to the next one. Thermodynamics. From thermodynamics they have asked you 3 questions. So see, based on the entropies and enthalpies, this is also based on Gibbs spontaneity we have explained. In the spontaneity case this concept has come. Here you see, more atoms are there, less atoms are formed. So more atoms to less atoms means entropy decreases. So delta S will be negative. And you see, dissociation means endothermic. Chlorine is forming chlorine atoms means you have to supply energy, but here atoms are forming molecules means they will release energy. So exothermic in nature. So that's why it is exothermic in nature, and entropy will be less than 0 will come. So both cases it will be negative only. Entropy is negative because it decreases and it is exothermic reaction. So delta H will be negative will be coming. Next, moving into the next question. This one looks very bigger question, but once you know the formula delta G, this one during electrochemistry I have mentioned this thing. Delta G naught is equals to minus RT ln K will come. So this is the formula. So if you substitute, minus R value is 8.314 joules, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse, temperature value is 300 Kelvin, ln 4 into 10 power 13 they gave you, but equilibrium constant they gave you 2 into 10 power 13. So that's why last option is correct. So see, the option 4 is correct. So see there, look at the typicality. Simply by looking at these two you will go to this option, but they didn't give you that chance, so they have changed the option. So minus 8.314 into 300 into ln into 2 power 2 into 10 power 13 will come. Like this you can remember this thing. Let's move to the next one. See, the correct for free expansion. Always remember this thing, free expansion, work done is equals to 0 in a free expansion. Adiabatic condition means Q equals to 0. So there is only one option with Q equals to 0 and then W equals to 0. So this is the thing. In adiabatic process Q will be 0 and change of temperature will be 0 and expansion also will be 0 will be coming. Like this we can answer this question. See this thing, as I told you very clearly, based on oxidation number you can find one question. This is that question, and one question is there. If you don't know the answer also, if you know oxidation state calculation, you can solve that one. Every NEET exam is having 2 questions based on this thing. So CH4 x plus 4 equals to 0 and x equals to minus 4 will come. So in this case it will be minus 4. And you see, they are asking what is the change of oxidation number of carbon in the following reaction. So here you see x minus 4 equals to 0 and x equals to plus 4. So it is moving from minus 4 to plus 4 will come. So second option is the correct one. So simple logic. If you know how to calculate oxidation number means you would have done this problem easily. And the next question is hydrogen and its compounds. As I telling you repeatedly, from hydrogen hardness of the water, one question will be coming. Magnesium and calcium bicarbonates are responsible for the temporary hardness. So for B it is 1. So there is only one option with B equals to 1. And you see CO plus H2 is known as a syngas because it is useful to produce the methyl alcohol. That's why we call it as syngas. B2H6 is an electron deficient hydride because B2H6 will form the BH3. H2O2 is a non-planar structure. Why it is non-planar structure means it will be having a open book like structure. So that's why it is a non-planar structure will be common. Like this we can study about this thing. Next. If you are new to this channel means tell your juniors so that they will definitely get help from this channel. Tell them to subscribe to this channel and click bell icon for the latest update from my channel. I can guarantee you can definitely get 150 plus marks if you follow my videos thoroughly and go through your concepts, and whatever the books also I will tell you what kind of books you have to prepare. Those things you buy and study means definitely you will get 150 plus marks. That is the minimum mark I am telling you. If you work rigorously and very well you can do means you can get more than 170 also. Fine. Let us see the following metal ion. As I told you, biological applications of these metal ions, this thing is there. So the following metal ion activates many enzymes, participate in the oxidation state of glucose to produce ATP. With sodium, it is responsible for the transmission of nervous signals. That is nothing but the potassium will be coming. Like this, we can remember. This is directly theoretical question. This is direct NCERT statement based question. Next you see, HCl was passed through CaCl2, MgCl2 and NaCl. Which of the following compounds crystallize? This you can consider under the common ion effect applications. You can consider it as a common ion effect application or based on the solubility of the chlorides of first A group elements and then second A group elements. Second A group chlorides are highly soluble compared to the first A group chlorides. So that's why it will be precipitating only NaCl will be coming. Because the solubility of CaCl2 and MgCl2 is different, NaCl is different. So this is in salting out of soaps and crystallization of NaCl from salt water. We will be using this phenomena. HCl passed through the solution means from seawater when you are collecting the salt, to remove the excess salt from the solution we will pump this HCl. So only NaCl will be precipitated. Let's move to the other one. Based on carbon family, this question they have asked. In this case, you see the most confusing option is this one. This is a little difficult for everybody because in options also they have clearly created a border that definitely they have to make a mistake. So see, identify the correct statement they are asking you. So identify the correct statement means CO2 is used as refrigerant for ice cream and frozen food. That is not correct. It is used as refrigerant to keep the body organs and all, to create very low temperatures. We will be using this. For refrigerant, for ice cream and frozen food, we will not use. The structure contains 12 6 carbon rings and 25 carbon rings. This is the wrong. 12 5 carbon rings and 26 carbon rings should come. So that's why this is also false. ZSM is used to convert alcohols into gasoline. It's a colorless, odorless gas will come. So answer will be C and D only. Here the confusion is with B option only. So wherever there is B option, you see there is a chance you can go to these two options. But actually that is a wrong option. So that's why C and D will be coming. A and C it is not at all possible. It is a refrigerant but it is not used like that. For this use they will not use it as a refrigerant. For producing very low temperatures they will use. For this kind of oxygen, ice cream and all, nitrogen monoxide they will be using. Right. Next, this is the difficult question. As I told you, only 3 questions are there which there is a chance of making mistake. This is one of those questions. See, this is the question what we have discussed in my video directly. So the question we have discussed is, in presence of, what is the solubility of a weak electrolyte in presence of a strong electrolyte? We know very well Ksp of NiOH is equals to concentration of nickel and concentration of OH minus whole square. We will take concentration of nickel as coming from the solubility, hydroxide we will take it as coming from the NaOH, so 0.1 whole square. Of course, because of solubility it will come, but compared to 0.1 it is very very low, so that's why we will take directly. So 2 into 10 power minus 15. So this is 10 power minus 1 whole square means 10 power minus 2 comes this side, means the answer will be 2 into 10 power minus 13 will come. So the answer will be this thing. This is the direct model what we have discussed in the class. So same model has come. Next, move to the other question. Paper chromatography is an example. So this is coming from GOC case. Here this is also one of the confusing question. This is partition chromatography. Since we will take that on a paper and we will separate them into 2 different layers, we consider this as a partition chromatography. Thin layer chromatography means silica gel we will be using in that thing. Column chromatography means we will be passing the different components to the columns. Adsorption chromatography means this is a column chromatography. It's a type of chromatography, but exactly you want to speak means partition chromatography we have to mention for paper chromatography. This is one of the confusing question for everybody. So see this one, if you know the answer, definitely you get misleaded. See, tertiary butyl carbocation is more stable than secondary butyl carbocation. So why tertiary butyl carbocation is more stable than a secondary butyl carbocation? Plus or effect of methyl groups they are telling. Of course it is correct only, but you see, let us see the structure of them. Tertiary butyl carbocation is CH3 plus CH3, CH3. This is the structure. And for secondary butyl carbocation, CH3, CH, CH2, CH3. If it comes to the inductive effect, in both the cases inductive effect is possible, but extra because of the methyl group presence, besides the inductive effect you can have the hyperconjugation. The major reason for this thing is hyperconjugation. The extra methyl groups 9 are there, so 3 methyl groups are there and 9 hydrogens are available, so that's why it will be forming the 10 structures are possible with this. So that's why more hyperconjugation means more stability will come. In this case 5 structures only possible, so the main reason for the stability will be hyperconjugation will be coming. Next, let's move to the next one. This is based on the GOC. 3 questions has come based on this GOC. See, we will study the mechanism of this reactions. 2-bromopentane. This is the 2-bromopentane. This is converted into, this is 2-bromopentane. And it's converted into 2-pentene. So this is a beta elimination. This is, you see, this carbon is known as alpha carbon and this is known as the beta carbon. Since elements are removed from the alpha carbon and beta carbon, it's a beta elimination. Zaitsev rule. Zaitsev rule is more substitute alkene will come. That is a Zaitsev rule. It is dehydrohalogenation. Since hydrogen is removed and then halogen is removed, this is a dehydrohalogenation reaction. So the answer is A, B, C will be coming. This is also very important thing. Next, let us move to the next one. Which of the alkane cannot be made in good yield by Wurtz reaction? I told you go through the Wurtz named reactions. That is very important thing. So based on this named reaction, this question has come. Wurtz reaction means compounds or alkanes having odd number of carbon atoms cannot be prepared by using this Wurtz reaction. That is the main exceptional case. In this case we are having, so that's why which is odd number of carbon atoms means heptane will come. So the answer will be heptane. Even you can ask 2,3-dimethyl butane how you can take, means if you take secondary halide means you can get in reasonable quantity, but N-heptane means you can't get it. Identify compound X in the following sequence of reaction. This you can consider it as under the preparation of benzaldehyde, or you can consider it as a free radical mechanism of halogenation. So you can consider it as that mechanism or free radical mechanism also you can consider. So if you see this thing, 2 hydrogens should be removed from that and 2 chlorines should be coming. So CH, Cl and then Cl, and then alkyl halides with alcohols means they will produce COH and then OH and then H will come. Since 2 OH groups will be highly unstable on the compound, what they will do means CH, OH and then OH. It is highly unstable, so it removes water molecule and forms the benzaldehyde. So that's why the answer will be X will be this one. If it is this one means methyl alcohol will be coming. If it is this one means 3 carboxylic acids will come, so they will produce carboxylic acid group. Chlorine is not at all possible. So the answer for this question is this one. So see, this is one of the question based on the named reactions. Nearly 5 questions are there. This is one of them. Let's move to the next one. Ozonolysis. This ozonolysis also a named reaction only. See this, an alkene on ozonolysis which gives you methanol. Methanol formula is HCHO. HCHO is nothing but the methanol. We know very well in ozonolysis, wherever double bond is there, break the double bond, supply oxygens on both the ends. If you supply oxygens, this will form CH2O, which is nothing but this formaldehyde. Methanol will come. So that's why this will come. So ozonolysis also very important thing. In this case, it will produce 2 aldehydes, but that is a longer aldehyde will come. This also will produce different one. This one will produce ethanol. If you have confusion between methanol and ethanol means you will lose the mark here. So be careful with this. Next, you see, this is very important one. Simple question. Which of the following is not correct about the carbon monoxide? We know very well carbon monoxide reacts with hemoglobin and forms the carboxyhemoglobin, which reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the hemoglobin. Why? Because it is highly stable. But they are telling carboxyhemoglobin is less stable than oxyhemoglobin. That's why this is not correct. So the answer for this question is this one. It reduces oxygen carrying capacity, it produced due to incomplete combustion, carboxyhemoglobin, everything is correct, but this one is a wrong statement. So be careful with this one. Let's move to the next one. See, from solutions, as I told you, from solutions 2 questions has come. I have suggested 2 questions from this one, same it has come. The mixture which shows positive deviation from Raoult's law. I told you how to remember these examples also. Molecular mass is almost same means they will show no deviation. Basically acetone and then chloroform will combine and it will show the negative deviation. Mostly chloroform will be, acetone will be showing the positive deviation, but when it comes in contact with chloroform it shows negative. So the answer will be ethanol will be there, which will be showing the positive deviation. So be careful with this one. So answer for this one is ethanol, and then acetone will come because of hydrogen bonds breaking. Acetone case, because of hydrogen bond formation, it shows the negative deviation. This is also direct NCERT statement. You can find this in your NCERT under the heading of ideal and non-ideal solutions. Next you see, this one is with little calculation. This is the only question in this total entire chemistry paper which is with little calculation. Freezing depression constant is 5.12. Freezing point depression for the solution of molality 0.078. So delta TF is equals to KF into M. So it will be 5.12 into 0.078 will come. So 5.12 into 0.078 will come. So if you multiply these things, how much will come? That you have to write as it is. Non-electrolyte they are telling you. So be careful with this thing also. So 5.18 into 0.078 means, let us see how to do this thing. What they gave is 5.12 into 0.078. So it will be 0.039. Actually it is 5.12. So that's why the 0 will come. So 0.39 means 0.4 will be coming. So the answer will be 0.4. You would have done this in the there only normal paper calculation also you would have done. You would have got 0.4 kelvins will be coming. Like this we can do. Let's move to the next question. Rate constant of first order reaction is, they gave you time required to produce 2 grams into 0.2. This is the direct question based on K is equals to 2.303 by T log A by A minus X will come. Directly we have suggested based on the half-life period and rate constants also. So same thing has come. So in this case you see they are asking T. So T is equals to 2.303 by 4.606 into 10 power minus 3 log 2 by 0.2. This is 1 and this is 2. So finally you will be getting as T is equals to 1 by 2 into 10 power 3, because this is by 3 goes to top means 3. It will be log 2 by 0.1. Log 2 by 0.1 means you can take it as log 10, which is equals to 1. So that is equals to 1 means 1 by 2 means 0.5 into 10 power 3. So it will be 500 will come. So the answer is 500 seconds will come. So this is the thing. Next, let's move to the next thing. See, this is a little confusion question. An increase in concentration of reactants of a reaction leads to change in. Basically, they gave this thing based on the intensive properties and then extensive properties. So here collision frequency, threshold energy and activation energy all are intensive properties, but heat of reaction will be extensive properties. So as the concentration of reactions changes means the heat of reaction will be changing. But they give you enthalpy of reaction means enthalpy of reaction will never change. But these things and all will be intensive properties. That's why they will not be changing. This is based on the intensive. You can consider it into thermodynamics, or since collision frequency this and all is there, you can consider it into this chemical kinetics. See, this one is a direct question what we have explained in our videos. number of Faradays required to produce 20 grams of calcium from calcium chloride. This is simple question. Ca2 plus 2 electrons gives Ca. So 2 Faradays will produce 1 mole, that is 40 grams. So 1 Faraday will produce 20 grams, or simply this is nothing but the gram equivalent weight. So weight deposited by passing 1 Faraday of electricity is nothing but the gram equivalent weight. So we can consider this is the answer for this. Direct question, this also we have discussed in the video. During explaining only I have told this thing. Next you see, on electrolysis of dilute sulfuric acid. In this case also, dilute sulfuric acid will have SO4 2 minus ions, OH minus ions, and then H plus ions. Anyhow, cathode hydrogen will go. So at the platinum electrode, cathode, it will be hydrogen gas, but at anode sulfate ion can pass or OH minus can pass. Whenever strongly concentrated or very much concentrated is there, it will go and it will form H2S2O8. In the production of sulfuric acid we will be using this, but they are asking dilute sulfuric. Dilute sulfuric acid means automatically OH will go there and it will be forming the oxygen gas. Concentrated is there means it will form H2S2O8 will be coming, but here it will be oxygen gas. Be careful with this electrolysis case, only 2 questions they have asked here. Next, measuring zeta potential. This is one of the question which will be little confusing and most unexpected corner. Measuring zeta potential is useful in determining which property. Actually it explains the stability of this thing. Higher is the zeta potential means more it will be the stability, lower means it will be less stability will come. This is also direct NCERT statement, but not the directly this statement is there, some link is there. So if your 2 paragraphs are there, in one paragraph ending they have you given you what is zeta potential, and after that thing in the next paragraph immediately they have given that the charge repulsion is maximum means the stability will be more, they have given you. Because when colloidal particles comes together they will become very close to one another, so they will form aggregate, so the colloidal solution will be destroyed. But whenever charges are there means maximum charges are there means maximum repulsion will come, so maximum stability will be come. The next question is, see, spectrochemical series. I was repeatedly telling you, definitely based on the strength of ligands they will ask you one question from this, and this is the question they have asked. You people know very well that this question, if you don't have idea on the spectrochemical series exactly, you will never answer this question. I will make a mnemonic how to remember the series in the further coming days. I will put that video also. Cn is the strong field ligand, everybody knows that, so you can put on the this side. If you see oxalate also strong field after cyanide, so you can put. The question comes with SCN and F minus. There is one thing known as NCS minus. NCS minus is strong field ligand than the fluorine, but SCN minus is a weak field ligand than the fluorine. So the answer will be this one. So there is a confusion between NCS minus and then SCN minus. So very minute confusion is present between them. So based on that logic they have asked this question, and answer will be 4th one. This is direct question based on the spectrochemical series. I was repeatedly telling you, based on the strength of ligands they will be asking the questions. Let us see this thing. This question looks very bigger, as I told you in the starting only. If you are having concept on or confident on oxidation number concept means you can easily answer this one. Transition metal and their compounds are known for their catalytic activity due to adopt the multiple oxidation states and form complexes. Interstitial compounds are those formed when atoms like hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen are trapped inside the metals. Oxidation state of chromium in CrO4 2 minus is plus 6, Cr2O7 is plus 6, but they are telling they are not the same, so that's why this is the wrong answer. So the correct answer will be this one. They are asking incorrect statement. This is the incorrect statement. Chromium is stronger reducing agent than Fe2+. Why? D4 is there, it can take electron easily and it will become stable. So that's why that is a strong reducing agent. So answer will be second one. Here you see oxidizing means it will take electron, reducing means it will donate electrons. See, if you know this oxidation number concept means you would have done this very easily. There is no need to know other things also. Which of the following is correct statement from the following? Blister copper is blistering in nature because of evolution of sulfur dioxide, not carbon dioxide. Vapor phase refining is used for nickel, that is correct, but it is not Van Arkel method, it is Mond's process. Van Arkel method is for zirconium and then titanium will come. Pig iron can be molded into variety of shapes. This is the answer. Wrought iron is have 4% carbon, not wrought iron. Pig iron will have. If you see the statements, they are very close to one another, but with minute difference only this will come. This kind of differentiation comes with excessive practice. Without excessive practice, you cannot be this much perfect to answer these kind of questions. So repeatedly you should keep in contact with the subject, then only you can answer this kind of questions. Next one, reaction between acetone and then methyl magnesium chloride followed by hydrolysis. Acetone is CH3, C double bond O, CH3. So I told you named reagents you have to remember, that is nothing but the Grignard reagent, CH3 MgX. CH3 minus will come, that will attack here and the displacement of groups takes place, so it will form a tertiary butyl alcohol. This is a preparation method of the alcohols it will come. See, the question is coming from the Grignard reagent, so whatever there is name of the reagent, definitely you can expect what, not every question but definitely 65% of the questions will come from the named things only. Anisole with HI, I told you very clearly. Reaction of ethers, Giesel method I told you. Anisole, first of all you should know what is anisole, then only you can do this thing. So this on treatment with HI, bond breaks here and H comes. Iodine always goes with the smallest alkyl group, so that's why it will come. When exception comes means whenever there is a tertiary carbon is present, then only exception will come. See, reaction between benzaldehyde and then acetophenone in presence of dilute NaOH. This is nothing but cross-Dalton condensation. Benzaldehyde is having no alpha hydrogen, but acetophenone is having one alpha hydrogen. That's why it is cross-Dalton condensation. I told you clearly, named reactions are important. This is based on that named reaction only. And you see, when it comes to the amines, I told you carbyl amine reaction. I explained this also, carbyl amine reaction. In this carbyl amine reaction, only primary amines will show whenever they are treated with the chloroform in presence of KOH. KOH in presence of chloroform, they will produce the isocyanates. During that how to score 150 plus marks in NEET videos, I have explained this thing. There are 3 parts, so in the third part you can find this thing. Most people watching first part and they are leaving, so but it is not possible for me to make the 3 hours video into single video, so I made it 3 parts, so each and every part video also important. In that case I have explained this thing, so same thing has come. I told you from biomolecules 2 questions has come and the structures are very important. Here we are having 3 disaccharides are there. One is maltose, one is sucrose and one is galactose. Maltose is from alpha glucose and alpha glucose. Sucrose is from alpha glucose and beta D fructose. Galactose is coming from beta glucose and beta D galactose will be coming. So alpha D glucose and then alpha D beta D fructose will be coming. This is the answer. So direct theory question, this case it will be. Let us move to the other one. See, which of the following is a basic amino acid? Here the nature of the amino acids, whether they are essential or non-essential, that is also very important thing. I made a video also to identify how to identify the essential and non-essential. In the next upcoming days, I will make a video on acidic and basic natures also. Lysine is the one which is in basic nature. Serine is a neutral thing. Tyrosine is acidic in nature. Phenylalanine is a neutral in nature. So you can only have lysine will be present, and that is also essential amino acid only. Next, moving into the next one, polymers concept. This is the direct question which we have discussed in the class also. Cis 1,4 polyisoprene is natural rubber, cis isoprene, and trans is there means it is gutta percha. This is previous year NEET question also. We have discussed this thing there only. So be careful with this. This video not only for the existing who passed out, for the upcoming 2021 NEET people I am explaining this thing. So that they will be careful about this. And which of the following is a cationic detergent? Sodium stearate is not at all a detergent, it's a soap. Cetyl trimethyl ammonium chloride. Always remember, ammonium salts are capable of forming the positive salts, and hence they will be forming the cationic detergent. Sulfonate is there, it is a negative thing. This is a soap. So that's why soaps are different and detergents are different. So cationic detergent means ammonium salts are there means they will be cationic. Sulfate groups are there means they will be anionic in nature. The next thing you see, this is based on the qualitative analysis, or you can also combine this into the copper complexes or ammonia reactions also you can consider. Nitrogen family p block elements are there. When you pass ammonia through the copper solution, it forms a blue color complex. So see, urea reacts with water to form ammonia. Urea reacts with water to form the azo compound will come, that on decomposition forms the B will be coming. And this B, when passed through the copper, it forms a deep blue color solution, that is nothing but the copper tetramine complex will come, which will be blue in color. If you know this thing, copper blue in color means you can easily answer this question. So like this overall NEET, we have only 3 to 4 questions which are difficult. So that's why everybody would have scored more than 120 in this paper. With normal their CBSE preparation, they would have scored easily 120 plus marks. So that's why the accuracy level is very important when it comes to the NEET question. So be careful with that thing. So that is the thing for this video. Thanks for learning from my channel. If you are new to this channel means subscribe to my channel Dawn of Chemistry. If you think this will be helpful to your friends, no, don't think, definitely it will be helpful to your friend. Suggest them to subscribe this channel. Thank you.